Our follower Kinsey slid into our DMs asking us to look into her ancestors, and we discovered that she is the fourth great-granddaughter of Orrin Hatch, one of the early American pioneers who was also present and heard the gunshots that killed Joseph Smith, the founder and prophet of the LDS faith. Orrin was raised in the woods of western New York, where he and his siblings would play with the children of neighboring Native American tribes, and they even learned some of their languages. When Orrin was 10 years old, his family would be taught and baptized by some of the first ever LDS or Mormon missionaries. However, 10-year-old Orrin was unsure if he believed like the rest of his family, and so he wanted to wait until he had a stronger testimony or witness from God. Shortly after being baptized, his family left New York and moved to Nauvoo, Illinois to be with the majority of the LDS membership at the time. Later that year in Nauvoo, Orrin and his siblings were trying to get a skunk out from underneath a granary. Orrin was looking underneath the granary at the skunk, and his brother Meltiah was on the other side with a shotgun. With very poor gun discipline, Meltiah shot at the skunk but in Orrin's direction, with one of the BBs hitting Orrin in the eye and making him permanently blind. You can see it in this photo. 4 years later, at the age of 14, Orrin would have a very strong and convincing spiritual experience on the banks of the Crooked Creek. Because of this experience, Orrin decided that he had enough of a testimony and chose to be baptized. Just a month later, Orrin was down the street in Carthage, Illinois, where he heard the gunshots from the mob that killed the LDS prophet and martyr Joseph Smith. At the age of 16, he volunteered to take his brother's place in the Mormon battalion, becoming the second youngest member of the battalion. While traveling to California with the battalion, Orrin contracted scurvy and was so close to death that the battalion had to leave him behind to die on the trail. The record reads, at the end of each day's march, Meltiah, his older brother who shot him in the eye, retraced his steps to bring his brother back to camp. Finally, an officer allowed Orrin to ride on a horse. He was so weak that he had to be tied in place. When the battalion reached San Diego, Orrin personally helped hold up the flagpole that the battalion raised the American flag on. While traveling back to the Salt Lake Valley from San Diego, Orrin's older brother Meltiah would have his shoes wear out. Orrin would give him his shoes and would walk barefoot into the Salt Lake Valley. Later on in his life, Orrin would propose to his wife with a golden nugget that he supposedly found while in California.